This is Romo Dunze, and you're listening to the Ballsville podcast.
Thank you so much.
And now, your host of the Ballsville Game Podcast, Scott Fitzgerald. Savage.
All right, I just came out of a video game. Welcome in, Ballsville gamers.
I feel like I want a glow stick right now.
Yeah, another episode of the Ballsville podcast. I am your host, Scott Fitzgerald. You can find me on Run the Hurry Up on Sleeper. And this episode is brought to you by the BallsvilleGame.com, where our games combine fantasy football and poker, which create big payouts with great odds. Welcome in, degenerates. We have a huge show today. We're going to be talking about game updates. We're going to be talking about George Pickens. We got big game best ball draft boards. We got trade talks. We got a new video that Sean created. You're going to love that. We have our Osiris Selection Wednesday show that everyone wants us to bring back by popular demand. And some big game freebies, like we always give away free things. And you're going to go in that description box in the chat. And the big word today is our new guest, Ethan. You're going to put that in, and you're going to be entered into a drawing for a free big game. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my panel over to my co-host. He is Bill's Mafia. He goes by Trader Clem. He is Sean Clemens. What is up, Sean?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
All right. And below him, we have our producer. She crushes Justin Herbert. She is on the West Coast, and she goes by Sarah M21. She's also one of our big game managers, so she'll be setting up those games. Welcome in, Sarah.
Hello. Good to see everybody.
All right, and we have a new guest today. He goes by HGX Ethan. He's from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where good old Brett Favre.
Yes.
And he is new to Ballsville, and he's been very active and getting in a ton of leagues for us. And he wanted to be on the pod, so we want to welcome him in. Welcome in, Ethan.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, quick question for you, Ethan. Is it plain grits, butter grits, sugar grits, honey grits?
Butter grits.
Butter grits?
Butter makes everything better.
All right. I do the butter sugar grit combo. So anybody that doesn't know on the West Coast, you guys know what grits are?
We know what they are. We don't eat them.
You guys have never had grits?
I've never had grits.
No grits? Oh,
I've had it. I don't really care for it though.
Ethan, aren't they good?
Yes. I'm kind of like Sean on this one though. I'll eat them like when I feel like it, but not often.
Dude,
yeah, I mean, it's literally like, to me, it's tasteless, man. It's like eating white rice on a regular basis.
That's why he has all the butter.
That's why you can put either sugar or honey or butter.
But why would something that you need to add that much to it in order to make it even edible be something that you want to eat?
You guys are missing out, man. Your guys' heads are in the cloud way out on the West Coast, man. You guys don't know what good
to try it. I'm
good
willing to try
eating
it.
is in the South.
I'm not saying I hate it. I just don't think it's great. It's like oatmeal, basically. It's like, okay, whatever.
Well, let's
oatmeal. Another thing, you have to add a bunch of stuff too.
Okay. Well,
like
I like grits.
What's his name? Scott's favorite running back, Zeke Elliott.
Well, I like grits with
oatmeals.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go into the chat. Let's welcome in our. We'll just say we'll welcome in our contestants because I'm sure everyone's going to write an Ethan to get into the drawing. So we got Cheeky Hobson. He's in short stack. Crash Davis. Jimbo's Bimbos. Welcome in, Cyborg, Jenny B, Fran's in. There's Alejandro. Welcome in, El Presidente. Did I say short stack already? Maybe not.
You did now.
I'm scrolling up. Sorry for cussing. And that's all right. We got a pretty big crowd here. All right.
Looks like there's somebody named Sarah in here. SKM Music.
Oh, it's not me.
So, So go ahead, Ethan. I'm going to give you some airtime. I want you to let the
Don't you mean hair
masses
time stuff?
know, let the masses know how you got into Ballsville, what's your favorite game to play, like redraft, best ball, dynasty, stuff like that, and maybe give a little sneak peek on how you like to build your rosters.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I found y'all's group by receiving a random invite to one of your leagues. It was the first triathlon that was made, I believe, and I got in all those really quickly before they filled. I've never seen anything like this before on Sleeper before. I mean, I've been on Sleeper ever since I feel like the app was like created and blew up the way it did. And so I really, the way y'all run things looks, I mean, it's my first year with y'all, but everything looks great. As far as my favorite game to play, I do play all of them. I play Redraft, Dynasty, and some of your league mates are actually playing my league. So I mean, I'm sure y'all are legit. But my favorite, honestly, is Redraft. Dynasty, I get myself too deep in those, and Redraft, I don't know. Sometimes I just like, I mean, Dynasty, I feel like the older players, the OGs, the vets, the players, we've all depended on for so long, they just go more unnoticed. You don't draft them till later on. A redraft, like I just like building for the year. That's my personal thoughts on that. But also my favorite game mode is Guillotine. I love Guillotine leagues.
Well, that kind of goes right into a segue. And like I said, for some of you new people that have come in, our triathlon league is launched. We've already filled 4 gods already. It's a combination of redraft, guillotine, and a best ball, March Madness style bracket. We're going to have a short video later on that to help you follow through how the game works, along with our selection in our Osiris League today. So just to give you a recap on where we're at as far as our games. So we have 29 dynasty leagues that are done drafting. We have one, the Holy Crusaders, that's drafting right now. The Clay League is drafting sometime next week, and Toothless is going to draft sometime by the summer. We do have 5 best ball big game leagues that are drafting right now. Numbers 6, 7, and 8 are open right now to be filled. So please go to the website if you want to join in on any of those. I've already talked about where we're at in the triathlon. Welcome in Art. Art's my boy. Welcome in Artful Dodger. He's already got into triathlon leagues. So thank you for your support, Art. Aries and Mars are the next 2 triathlon gods that are open, and they are filling. Once those are full, we're going to get them on the pod. That's super popular. People like to do the Shauna wheel and get their draft positions. So once those leagues are full, we'll get them on here, and you guys can see where the wheel spins and which league you're going to be in and who you're drafting with. And then just a quick teaser. I know you guys have seen Connor on here and JoJo at times. They're both going to put together some short videos on some rookie reports going forward. I know some people probably already did their rookie drafts. Some people are doing them late. Some people maybe want to get a little more information on the rookies that they did draft in their leagues. So they're going to come up with little short videos. Look for them on the website in the next week or 2. So that's our rundown for where we're at in our games right now. So we're like cooking. I mean, we're rolling right now. So our gamers are excited. They want to get in these games. They want to draft. And like I've always said before, I mean, we think our community is way ahead of everybody else as far as fantasy, because we draft so many leagues so early, and we know where ADP falls and where it's at. So when you get into those home leagues that you draft in August and late July, early August,
And those guys don't even hold a candle to what we know.
no,
by
they
that.
don't. You can just go in there and just freaking smash.
Yeah. That'd be like Gandalf rolling into like a battle with some like a young ass wizard dude by that point in time. It's just gonna be one and done, just like that.
So let me roll around. Welcome in, Trevor. Trevor's in the chat. Let me run through. Oh, there's Trevor. Trevor Silva's in. Casey Grimm is in. Kendall Oswald is in. These are new players. I don't know any of these people. Do you know him? I
You
know
know
Trevor.
Grim.
Kendall said earlier that he is. Give me a
Who's
second
Casey?
here to
Who's
pull back
Casey?
up.
Go Bears. She says she's a big Bears fan. Casey Green.
That's Tennessee Nick Kendall Oswald.
Oh, Tennessee Nick. Oh, welcome in, Tennessee Nick. Yeah, if you guys put your sleeper screen name on, I could identify you better. So yeah, Tennessee Nick's been very involved too. I want to give him a shout out. Oh,
Yeah, definitely. Been a lot of drafts.
Oh, Force One. Okay, is that Bear Force One? Oh, Bear Force One is Casey. All right, I'll get these names down eventually. But anyways,
it's more fun listening to you try though,
yeah,
right?
I know it's now that we did that, I want to do a Alex did put up a post in Discord on what you guys liked about the podcast, and the overwhelming winner was meeting our new league mates, which I was hoping that would be the number one, because I've met a lot of good friends, Sean, Sarah, Alex, Ken, Jimbo's. I mean, I met so many people on Ballsville, and actually met them in person, and have become really good friends. So that's awesome that you get to meet up with your league mates. I think some other people liked the trade talks. That was a big one. People liked, I think, the way I pronounce people's names. I think that was kind of up there too.
I told you, man. That is just one of the best things, dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
I was awful at spelling, and I was terrible at like if you told me your name in school, I'd forget it in like 10 minutes. So it was just awful.
You know what, Scott? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the hardest NFL names to say, and I'm gonna put a slideshow together for you to try to pronounce these people's names for next week. So next week we'll do a little quick segment with you,
Oh my God.
and it'll be like we could have Scott guess the name, and you just try to say exactly what you think it is.
That would be awful. That would be awful. Welcome in, Todd Barber. Todd Barber, big gamer with us. One of the gamers that are in all the leagues, along with Ethan, along with some other people that we'll name later. But let's get to some big news, because this was a pretty big trade. This individual went for a third and a fifth round. He's former Georgia great, former Steeler great. He has won Jorge Pickens, and he goes from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys. And before I get my take, I'm going to go around the horn, and I'm going to go to Trader Clem and ask him, Trader Clem, when this popped up on your feed, what was your reaction?
Excuse me. It had me laughing, basically. I just think that this was bound to happen. Just the fact that he went to Dallas. It's one of those things that you kind of feel like that's just a perfect fit for a guy like Pickens, don't you? The way that Dallas kind of just feeds into people's egos, and Jerry's the kind of guy that just loves it. So I just feel like it's going to be, it's a bomb waiting to explode, and I can't wait for that day.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarah. You're next.
Yeah. Whenever things like this happen, I always look at it from a fantasy standpoint, and what does this do for my fantasy teams and the way too many, leagues that I have. So I have a fair amount of Pickens shares, because he was a hard guy to sell after he kind of dud it out like in Pittsburgh. So right now is like a sell high point for me, because the Cowboys fans are excited about this. People are thinking this is really going to up his stock. And I was like, great, I'm ready to sell him now. So I think for me, it's really fun to see if, what I can get for him. And hey, look, if he balls out and he actually does really well aside CeeDee Lamb, then if people get their money's worth, it's a win-win.
Got you. Now, before I go to Ethan, here we go with name pronunciations. We got a new one here. We got Michael Ditazto. Big Steelers fan.
One more time, Scott.
I can't. I only do. You only get one attempt on it. Call it a day. So, all right, Ethan. George Pickens.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we obviously knew that he was going to be on the move, and honestly like the fit in Dallas. I think that he takes some pressure off of Dak and Lamb, and I think that there's no really fantasy fallouts as far as the offense goes with Pickens going there. I feel like his volume gets better. I feel like it's a better fit than Pittsburgh ever was going to be, whether it would have been with Russ, Fields, whether Rodgers were to go there this year. I feel like Pickens' value does go up in this situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. First thing I thought was Terrell Owens, huge polarizing person, big personality, and I think it was a relief for him to get out of Pittsburgh. I mean, I think it's going to be a low volume offense, a lot of running. I don't trust even if they were to sign Ron. His best days are way in the past. So um, being now that CD Lamb has all the attention, he's going to be one-on-one. The only concern I have with this basically this offense is they need to find a running game, because if defenses know that they're not going to run the ball or they can't run the ball, they can just put a blanket coverage out there, and there's not going to be much. They're going to let Dallas do everything underneath. And George isn't an underneath player. He's an ex wideout that likes to run long patterns, jump balls. So if they can find a way to run the ball and CD gets double covered, then good luck trying to cover George Pickens one-on-one on a deep route with a jump ball. He's going to win 9 out of 10 times. So I love the fit.
They have the best combination of guys where they could just say, literally, go deep on both sides of the field, and then one of the two of them is going to be single covered, and they can just toss the ball up.
And it's just going to give an opportunity to move CD more. I mean, CD's a move receiver. They're going to move him all over the place, and you're going to have to send somebody with him, maybe and double him. And it just, George Pickens is going to be single coverage all the time. So I like the fit a lot. Now, as far as the other side of the coin, back in Pittsburgh, I mean, it's a huge bump for DK Metcalf, along with, Pat Freiermuth. His value goes up a little bit more. So if you do have DK shares, you got to be pretty happy to have some DK shares. You just don't know who else throwing them the ball.
For sure.
So, like the deal. I think Pittsburgh could have got a little bit more, especially dealing with Jerry. You probably could have squeezed them a little bit more. But a third and a fifth, I'll take that all day for George Pickens. So, I like it. So
does this move Dak up at all in your quarterback rankings?
Oh yeah, I think it gives Dak a bump for sure. I mean,
how much farther up is he in your rankings now?
I think he's going too low right now. I mean, everyone's forgetting. I mean, if Dak's healthy, before he got hurt last year, I mean, he was a monster. So, I mean, I don't know.
Are we going into these drafts? Is that our next segment here? Are we going into the drafts?
We
can use that as a nice
segue in there. We'll go into the draft boards next. Let's go right into the draft boards next, and we'll see where
Dak falls.
We'll see where Dak falls. But obviously, this was all today, so we're gonna see where George Pickens is gonna get a bump. DK Metcalf's gonna get a bump. So we'll see what
this is where he was going, right? So looks like he was right after JJ in this draft.
What's up, Grinder Omega? What's up, Jerry Bagshaw? They all popped in here. You got a nice crowd.
Yeah, I see Dak was all the way down there in the 7th.
So what league is it?
7-2.
Is this the first big game?
Yeah, that's the first one that I'm in.
So this was probably, if this started right, did this one start just a day or two before League 3 that I'm in, Sarah? Do you know?
Yeah, it did. It started 2 days before.
Okay, so all of this definitely happened before any of this.
Before the trade.
Yeah. So
it started right after he sent the link the very next day.
Right. But so for me, I mean, JJ, it's hard for me to take Dak over JJ because JJ's combination is just as good as a CD.
Plus you get him longer.
But he's got over there with Addison and JJ. So I think that the combination there, it's hard for me to take him over JJ, but maybe I could definitely take him over a Purdy. I wouldn't have a problem with taking him over Purdy. I think Purdy's maybe going a little higher than he should personally, but I don't know how much higher up he really goes, from at least this example that we're looking at.
Yeah,
has Pickens even gone on the board? Where's Pickens on the board?
DK went in the 8th round. So DK's in the 8th round, I see. And then I can't see where Pickens is. The screen's too small.
I'll find him.
I don't even know. Is he?
I don't see him. About Dak. Do you have a thought on Dak as far as where he's going?
Okay, so Dak, I would take Dak over JJ just because, and I don't like the unknown, and JJ is still the unknown. I mean, he hasn't played a full year yet.
Would you take him over Goff?
Take Dak over Goff?
Mm-hmm.
No, I would take Goff just because of I just think we know we're getting out of Goff. I mean, I do like the bump. but the Goff has a running game, which is going to open up the passing game. That's, like I said, that's my only fear is if they can't run the ball, is the passing game going to be a problem? Ethan, what do you think about Dak? Where do you got Dak?
I agree with both of y'all's points. I would take Dak right above JJ, but I would take him nobody other than like everybody that's been taking over Dak in this draft right here. I would take everybody over him, whether it be Goff or Purdy. I'm surprised I got Goff where I got him just because he leads an elite offense, and I have Purdy similarly right behind Goff. And also, I checked the draft real quick, and I did take Pickens right after Godwin right there. I took Pickens
I was
11.
just going to say, the
11
reason we
3.
can't find Pickens is because he hasn't been drafted yet on this board, and we're only
Yeah,
down.
this is the first
I took
10
him.
rows.
I took him right after Godwin at 11-3.
So Pickens definitely going to go before the 11th round.
Wow, I can't believe he went that late. But it is 10.
He's been going late. People are they're scared of him, and
They're soured on him, man. Especially because at the time, like they thought he was stuck in an offense with a coach that didn't like him.
yeah.
So like
and
that,
then they
that
gave
also
DK this
probably
huge deal.
affected his draft stock here.
Yeah,
I don't see him going behind Ricky Pearsall, Jacoby Myers, Stephon Diggs.
not anymore.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have
Not
taken
anymore.
him behind him even if he
Yeah.
was still in Pittsburgh. I still wouldn't have. That's just me personally, though.
I'm with you. I'm with you on
Hey,
that one. I think
well, and
Godwin,
this is redraft, so he
Godwin
goes a little
left.
later in the redraft before the trade too.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. Now with this news, in this draft, DK went the 8th round. Now, how much more do you move DK up, Sarah?
I would say probably fourth, between the 4th and 6th round.
Even with an unstable quarterback?
I don't think that. Yeah, I do. I think between 4th and 6th round, probably. I mean, look, Marvin Harrison going this late, I don't think is something that I see very often, right? Marvin Harrison is like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th round. I mean, that's pretty late for him.
What about you,
I mean?
John? How much do you move Metcalf up?
I mean, first before I say anything, I want to hear what Ethan's reaction to Sarah's response was because his eyebrows raised pretty high there.
Well, I think DK is going to go before. I'd take DK before Rashee Rice in a redraft. I mean, we're talking redraft here.
My eyebrows went like that when she made the Marv comment. A lot of leagues I'm in with Marv, he goes way after his ADP. I'd say a good like round or two after, because I would say that he definitely kind of busted his first year compared to guys in his class. He had so much expectations, and in a redraft league, I'm not really too high on Marv. I think the sky's still the limit for him. I think that he could easily be a top 5 receiver this year, if not better. And him and Kyler's chemistry is just going to connect even more and more. But I agree. Yeah, that's just where I'm at
it's
on
like
Marv.
look at all these. I'm looking at all the running backs that went earlier on too, because I think that's what dropped him. Wasn't because when looking only at wide receivers, the only person I probably wouldn't have taken over Marvin Harrison is like Hunter and Rashee. All the rest of the guys, yeah, I'd take him before Marv, like wide receiver wise only.
So I'm the opposite direction almost on DK, to be honest. I'm lower on DK anyway. In general, I think he's going right about where he should in this draft, probably behind. I'd probably, maybe move like Ayuk potentially ahead of him, just maybe. But that would be the only guy that I think would go ahead of DK. But I don't think he goes up at all. I think if anything, he might go behind the guy that you're basically liking Ayuk, that you're almost taking him over. So
I've been high on DK even before the trade. So
he's going to be targeted now as like the only receiver that's really a threat in that offense. They're not going to have like a solid run game to start with. They're going to have to prove that their run game is something to be scared of before they can really open DK up. And Aaron is not known lately for being able to take advantage of, a lot of good receivers. So I don't really know if it's going to come to fruition. I mean, right now, Aaron's
John, that's the coach's fault. That's not Aaron's fault.
Aaron has not. Aaron is probably his mind is probably from his body because he is on so much drugs right now. By the time he gets back in line with his body and actually shows up on the football field, I don't think that this guy's going to be able to go out there and make use of DK. And now they're going to be covering DK like crazy. They're going to be shifting safeties over to his side all the time, and I just don't think that it's going to help him at all. I think if anything, it hurts.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, rapid fire, real quick. We'll go Ethan. Ethan, in redraft, Pickens or Metcalf?
Redraft. Give me Metcalf.
Sarah, Dynasty, Pickens or Metcalf?
I'm still taking Metcalf.
Sean, redraft, Pickens or Metcalf?
Dude, it's so fucking close, bro. It really, really is. I think just for the sake of argument here, I'm gonna take Pickens, honestly, just because like I feel like that even as the number 2 in that offense, his potential could be better than an ayahuasca-led Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
And I'll go Dynasty. I'm taking Pickens all day. I love George Pickens, especially in that offense. So, all right. Is there any glaring things in this draft, or can we go to another draft board? Maybe check out another board, or we want to pick apart this one?
We can talk about the fact that Kyle Williams went where he did. Like, what the hell is that? Kyle Williams going over all those other receivers we were just talking about.
Some people are high on him right now.
Oh, he's at. I see him now.
That's Jimbo, baby. That's our buddy right there. Doing Jimbo things.
He always has a different strategy every time. I always want to know what he's up to.
We love you, Jimbo. Look at that. Bowers, start now with Bowers right out the gate, baby. He's like, give me that tight end.
When you're not TV.
Jimbo's smashing them rookies. He's
got Kittle too.
Yep. He's got Dante and Travion.
He's either really old or really young. That's it.
We did pick up Mixon.
You gotta love Jimbo, man. Sometimes you can see a clear strategy in his drafts, and then other times you have no idea from pick to pick what the hell he's thinking.
Yeah, I see. That's the thing. Is if I'm drafting close to him, I can't really predict.
No, you cannot.
He gets go. I'll think I know it, and then you'll just boom.
Like I have a general idea, like if I'm drafting with Sean or like Ken, maybe Alex, Connor for sure, JoJo for sure, but everyone else, I'm just especially Jimmy, man. It could go anywhere. Let's see what Seabon did. What did Connor do there? He took Bijan.
Bijan and Neighbors, I think, are solid picks where he took them.
All his receivers. Yeah.
He took Neighbors over CD, what do you think of that? He took Neighbors over CD. And now that's another thing we could talk about at this point is CD. Does he go up or down with the Pickens news?
I think he goes
I think it's about the same, but he could definitely go up. I mean, his volume isn't going to change. I think he could very easily go up, but he's about the same.
I think they have someone else they have to guard. Yeah.
I think it goes up a little bit because Pickens is going to draw some coverage. The only thing another thing I worry about is as long as Pickens just keeps his mouth shut and doesn't cry about not getting enough targets, and it's not a Terrell Owens in this locker room, it'll be fine. But if he goes where CD gets 10, 11, 12 targets and he gets like 3, is it going to be a problem going forward? So
Sarah, that was great timing because I honestly thought that that was Ethan's baby or something, and he was going to be like, "Guys, I'll be right back. I got to take care of it."
I was wondering.
All right, real quick. Let's break down some rookies, and we're going to go from this draft, and we'll go to the other 2 boards and combine and see where these rookies are going now post draft. So now it looks like Jante's in the early second. Where did
But not only that, he's RB4 in this draft.
Okay,
and then there's a big gap after him to the next RB in the HN. So that's a significant kind of development, I guess you could say.
Are you guys comfortable taking Jante number 4?
Only in a dynasty.
Yeah, I have to agree with that point. It has to be dynasty. I wouldn't take him over. Not over the guys that fell to him. I mean, that fell and not that big of a gap. That's a big gap.
Yeah. Well, a guy like Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs for me dropping, where they're falling and things like that. Like this is a 1-season league, guys. This isn't dynasty here. So at that point, I don't see why Derrick Henry shouldn't still be considered somebody who would be in the top 5 in the running back conversation at the end of the season. I agree
100% with you guys. The only thing I see in this is have we ever seen a running back come into a perfect situation with a running coach nobody there. I mean, I could see this guy getting 300 carries.
You know what? We did see that last season with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I'm talking a rookie coming. When was the last time you seen a rookie come in and get like?
This is a very rare situation that he's in.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. I think that's.
I like this guy. I like Kendall's response here. Remember CEH?
I remember them days.
Let's go to the next board. See where he fell on the next board.
All right, Dan.
Same spot.
There he is.
RB4. Yeah.
You went, yep, same spot. RB4, even ahead of neighbors in this draft.
I will
There's
say
Hampton going hella early.
Oh shoot, yeah.
What about the receivers? Where's Tet?
He's gonna be Hunter is at 7'9".
Wow, somebody took Burden
was at
early too.
6'9".
Holy cow!
So this is
the
the
draft. In the other draft, Hunter went way before Tet.
This is the draft I am, and I remember being surprised that Tet went here. Actually, you know what? Honestly, I actually think Tet was an auto pick. Now that I'm thinking, I think it was an auto pick because the guy ended up timing out, and he was the top guy on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. I don't know if he queued him up or not, but I feel like he was the top guy on the board at the time, and it was an auto pick. But Travis Hunter definitely was not. So worst case, we got Hunter at 7'9".
God, look at where these guys are falling, man. Jonathan Taylor in the 4th.
It's crazy. I'm loving how many rookies are picking a redraft so early. It's so great.
In the 5th.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when he fell to the 5th for me. The way that the board was working out.
Look at CMC.
Yeah, CMC was like, I was hoping he'd drop one. He wasn't going more than one more pick, I should say. But I was hoping he would drop one more. I'd take him there, and then I would have just waited and taken the one quarterback at 7'4" and kind of went that route with it. But
look at how horrible I am. I took Marvin Harrison before my boy Ladd. I'm so rude.
Oh my God, Sarah, what were you thinking?
I like to have variables in my draft. I don't like them to all be the same.
I understand. I mean,
I thought you just wanted to draft everybody with red jerseys.
Yeah. The other thing gamers have to understand is, when you're putting a portfolio together and you're in so many drafts like we are, you want to kind of diversify a little bit. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes if you see people go before another person, you're like, why did that guy go before him? Well, that person might have had too many shares of that other guy.
Exactly.
And diversifying. So
actually, that's a great question that lead into this question, and that might be an exact answer as to why you took AJ Brown over Rashee Rice when Rashee Rice gave you the stack with Patty. I was curious because I remember when
I love Rashee in Dynasty. It's just in redraft with, his stuff going on and just KC just getting more and more crowded. And I just never know what you're going to get. I know Pat's going to throw to a million people. I just don't know if it's just going to be one guy enough for a redraft, for me. I don't take Rashee a lot. I love him.
That one was one that I was shocked of because I know how much, at least to me anyways, I value the stack in a best ball league.
I do certain stacks.
But hey, it doesn't hurt. I mean, there's opportunity. I don't know when did he go here. Oh, Worthy went. Geez, Worthy went before you even had a shot at him. Come back around to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken him in a redraft either.
I'm not mad at that Brown pick. I think he's still.
He's probably going to get me more points than Rice in general. So yeah, I'm not even.
Ethan, I'm interested. I'm interested to pick your brain on this one too because you didn't say it earlier when I asked you, and I'm wondering if you're dodging me because we're going to be drafting soon. But how do you like to build your rosters? Are you like in a super flex 12-man? Do you go do you like getting the quarterbacks early? Do you like waiting on quarterbacks? Do you go receiver heavy, or do you cherish those running backs? What's your typical build?
I will say nowadays, with it depends on where I'm drafting for one. If I'm drafting towards the end, I feel like I miss out on the top tier quarterbacks, and I'll build my roster with, let's say, if it's redraft, let's say if I get a Barkley or Lamb at the end or a Bijan, Gibbs, any of those type of guys towards the end of that, because by the time you get to the end, most of the people, you're drafting Allen, Daniels, Lamar, all the good elite quarterbacks at the beginning. And if I could like pick my draft, that's what I would do. I would draft an elite quarterback, come back around, get an elite receiver and running back if you could. Sometimes what I consider an elite running back is only like 4 or 5 of them like elite. So sometimes most of the time I'll come back around and get 2 elite wide receivers and fill in running back towards the end, and I'll find like a middle quarterback. I love to spot like a Baker or a Goff, and usually I'll try to have 3 starting quarterbacks, but sometimes I only end up with 2, and that's fine because I'll still make sure the rest of my roster is loaded with wide receiver or something. I feel like it'll all come together one way or another.
Got you. That's good analysis right there. I mean, that's very smart. Kind of let the draft kind of fall to you depending where you're at,
Absolutely.
where you're placed, and sometimes you got to change gears in fantasy. You can't just build the same all the time. As much as I like to draft quarterbacks heavy, if it doesn't work out that way, I got to change gears or my team's going to look like shit. So
I never do that, Scott. I never do that. I always draft quarterback early.
Yeah,
As you can tell by my draft board.
I can tell the draft already waited all the way till the end. Ended up getting like, some nice quarterbacks. I mean, with a couple with some upside and one that, pretty
and then my 11th rounder was Stafford. We talked about it pregame, but my 11th rounder was Stafford. So my 4 quarterbacks.
I can't believe you went that late. I mean, in a best ball. I mean, that's.
I think there was for some reason he was really low still on the ADP with Sleeper and their amazing ADPs. So I think it saved me a little bit because he was kind of hiding. I mean, he was down below like Jalen Milroe and stuff like that. So
yeah. I mean, he's got Puka, he's got Adams now throwing the ball.
Yeah.
He's got weapons.
And by the way, guys, I have to say because Jimbo's Bimbo's our favorite buddy. He said that he stacked this one. And I wanted to clarify, when I say a stack, I'm not saying stack the 2 running backs for the Chargers on your team or stack 2 wide receivers for the Bears on your team. You want to stack like a quarterback with a tight end or a quarterback with a receiver so that the touchdowns count twice. You're not going to get the same touchdown out of Marion Hampton and Najee Harris unless they play pitch and putt in the backfield with it. And, somehow, some way, one throws the other a pass. So, that's kind of where you want to stay when you're talking about stack. So I want to make sure that Jimbo understands that too, because, maybe that was what happened here and why he decided to go with Hampton and Harris the way he did.
Oh, you saw down below also Caleb Johnson and Warren.
Yeah. I think the response Jimbo is going to say to you, Sean, is I'm going to kick your ass this year. I think that's going to be his response.
That's probably true. And he'll probably be right. He'll probably be right. All of this, like looking at his team going like this the whole time, and then next thing you know, he's gonna be he's gonna be standing over the top and be like, ugh.
It's best ball, right? So it's just like, oh, this week it's Hampton, this week it's Najee, this week it's
yeah. So, do we have one more?
I love it.
We have one more. It's only like 2.5 rounds in. It's the one that's drafting right now.
I just want to see where Janty goes in that one. I want to see some.
Sure. He's already out.
Let's see some variants.
Sean.
Next one.
Next.
Oh, this are only our 3 rounds deep so far.
Yeah, this one's barely in 3.
Wow, look how. Oh, so Sarah, you took CMC a lot earlier. So
yeah, diversify.
Okay, diversify. Okay, so he's still number 4 off the board.
Wow.
Yep.
But this time,
Janty's consistent, man. Number 4 off the board so far in our ADPs in the big game.
Yeah.
I should stop taking so much AJ Brown. He keeps falling.
I don't have a problem with Genty going 4, but if he's going in the top 3 over Gibbs, Barkley, or Bijan, that's when it becomes a huge problem.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much for our draft board. So like I said, if you guys are looking to get into a big game, definitely go to the ballsvillegame.com. Get yourself into one. They're $7. I mean, super cheap. Price of I think it's the price of a Starbucks coffee. I don't know. Starbucks coffees, I think, are more than $7 now. I don't know.
They're only like $5 if you get it just plain.
I don't drink coffee.
I don't know. My daughter sent me to get her Starbucks the other day. She's like, it's got to have oat milk and it's got to have this and this and this. And next thing you know, I spent like $9 for a freaking coffee. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So yeah. But anything for your kids. So now we're going to go into a segment of our show that I have such a problem remembering. I never remember the part of the show, but it's so popular. Wondering if Sean could help me out because I can't remember it.
Well, you know what, Scott? Because you have such a hard time remembering it, we made an amazing little video for you.
Yeah.
Really?
Trade talk, Ballsville is excellent.
Love that
Guys,
video.
you guys are complete jerks because I saw that video last week and that stupid
You
song
still-
was playing in my head for all week, but I forgot it. So now you just reminded me again. So now I got to listen to that in my head the next
Every week.
until I forget
Every
it.
week. And I just want to give Alex a huge shout out for that. Our El Presidente made that and he sang on it. And I just love it completely.
It is pretty epic.
So yeah, so good
Very
job.
epic.
So, all right, so we got some trades to break down. I'm assuming these are probably all our dynasty trades, which I don't know if this was like this last year. I guess I wasn't really like tuned in, but has there been like so many trades this year in the dynasty leagues? Was there more like is this
Well,
been, like,
Scott, I made like 8 trades in one day. So I would have to go out on a limb and say you're probably right. There has been a lot of trades.
Got you.
I mean,
All right.
there's been so much activity. Everybody is in there and they're playing like this is, right in mid-August. It's great. I love it.
All right, let's break down some of these trades. I know people are chomping at the bit. They want us to have us evaluate their
There
trade.
it is. Let's light these cigars, ladies and gentlemen, and get to the first trade of the day.
Now, Ethan, when you break down these trades, if you don't do it right, people are going to be screaming at you in the chat.
I'll do my best.
All right.
All right, so this is coming straight out of the Ketchum League. We got one of our favorite traders in Ballsville.
Love
It's good
John.
to have him back. Love John. He's getting Omarion Hampton and Jackson Dart, just like our friends up in New York trading up to get Jackson Dart. He's giving away Trevor Lawrence and a 2027 first round pick. All right, guys, what do you think? First glance, do you like it or hate it? Scott, go for it.
God, I got to go first.
I did it to you first because there's 2 quarterbacks in there, and I know you don't want to evaluate Lawrence and Dart. So I wanted to make sure that you were like hot seat, baby.
Okay, so I'm looking at it this way. I think Trevor Lawrence with Liam Cohen going there, I think he's in the making for a resurgence. So BTJ is a year older. They got Travis Hunter there that they're going to scheme for the new coaching staff. So I like Trevor Lawrence for an unknown Jackson Dart, who I think was a little bit of a reach for the Giants. I like the 27 class. So if you're going to give me a first rounder for Omarion Hampton for a reroll, I think I'd rather take the better quarterback and just do the reroll on a guy that, I know a lot of people are high on Omarion Hampton, but he hasn't stepped on the field yet. So like I said, I always like the known and not the unknown. So I'll take the proven commodity and Trevor Lawrence, and I'll take Zach's side.
All right, so we got one for the Zach side. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I actually agree. This is a tough one for me because I actually like both of those rookies. However, I have a little bit of an unpopular opinion about Hampton, not because I don't think he's amazing and great, but where he landed, I'm happy about it. The Chargers fans are happy about it, but I think he's going to be in a committee the whole entire time he's with the Chargers. So I don't really see him as even worth the 1-3 where he's going in rookie draft. So I actually like the Trevor Lawrence side. Same reasons. I think Lawrence is, a really good quarterback. I like the 27 class, and I think it's a really good on both sides, but I would take Zach's side.
So just out of curiosity, do you take Hampton or Henderson if you're sitting at the 1-3 for saying you want to take a running back?
Yeah, I'm either trading back a couple picks and getting something extra for it, or I'm probably taking Henderson.
Interesting. All right. What about you?
Yeah, but I'd rather trade back if that's not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Ideally, you want to get that extra added bonus.
Exactly.
Like 1-5 and getting your boy. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Where you stand, Ethan? What do you think about this deal?
Okay, at the time of this podcast, I believe the Zach Wilson Fan 5 side wins, but it's hard to say because I do like the Love John side too, and I mean Dart's rankings probably aren't high at all right now, but I believe whenever Russ isn't going to be there forever, and I think Dart could start sometime this year. I think he at some point might even have a higher ranking than Lawrence. And it depends on where that 2027 first falls to. And I think Hampton will actually shine in that role at LA Chargers. And I think that he might start out in a committee, but I think eventually he'll win that job over. So I'm going to have to take the Love John side on that one.
They don't want to have just one RB.
Yeah.
And one
so
quick
give you
thing
guys a little context. Go ahead.
Go
ahead,
I was going to say real quick, before you get into it, Sean, this is it for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if he doesn't take a step forward this year, they're going to start looking for another quarterback. So he's got all the weapons around him to be successful, along with the new coach. So, this is it for Trevor Lawrence. Go on, Sean.
Sure.
So just to give you guys an idea, I'm looking at his roster, and he's got a decent starting roster, with a little bit of depth right there. He's going to add, that nice flex spot there. He's also got Najee, so. That's another thing there for him to get Omarion and have Najee still on his roster. He's Jimbo in us right now. So to me, I think that first round pick's probably going to fall. I don't want to be a dick about how good he does next year, but let's just say that I don't think it's going to be the 112. And looking at that, seeing this the way it is, I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. I think people are underrating him. They literally just went up and gave away quite a bit to jump up just a few picks to get him another huge weapon that they anticipate will be like a gigantic boost for him. So, to me, I think Trevor Lawrence, like you said, Scott, it's either, this is it for him, but I think he's got the pedigree and he's shown me enough where I'm confident that he'll be able to do something, more than nothing. So I'd be leaning towards keeping Trevor. And to be honest, like for me, I probably just approach this trade and say, hey, man, I don't really want to do the quarterback swap. How about we figure out a way where I can give you my first rounder and some other piece to get the Hampton side of the deal, if that's what I wanted. And I would have just tried to keep the Lawrence side and then had, Hampton and Lawrence as my two pieces and given him like a first and maybe another receiver or another running back or somebody else that, he could maybe go after instead of my quarterback swap.
Yep. Good enough.
I don't hate it.
That's why you go to Sean. That's why you DM Sean when you have any kind of trade issues, because Sean kind of thinks the whole trade out instead of us blowhorns just like, we'll take this side.
I like that guy.
I like that.
I wouldn't say it that way, but I do appreciate it.
Well, you knew who else he had on his team.
Yeah, it does help that I can look at his roster.
Yeah, it all depends on where that first falls, to be honest. Because if it is a top 5 first, then that Trevor Lawrence side I think wins easily, in my opinion.
They're both good, right? Yeah, Hampton and Dart are great future looks. So it's a bad trade for anyone.
I actually disagree with Sarah a little bit. I think Omarion Hampton fell in a pretty good spot because Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. And
absolutely,
he ain't going to be there.
I think he's great for our team.
Yeah,
I just don't know if he's great for all the fantasy owners. I don't think he's going to be consistent every single week, getting like all the fantasy points for the owners and us taking him at 1-3 in the rookie draft. But I could be totally wrong. I just think that we love to run the ball and we like more than one running back to run the ball.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, what's next? What's on the menu?
Let's go to the next trade. We have ourselves a trade from the Shadow League. This is D Northern Wizard, another one of our regulars in here, making some moves. He's getting Devontae Smith and Rashid White. He's going in with TB76, one of our boys, Todd Barber. What's up, buddy? Hope the girls are doing great. He's getting Jordan Mason, Zay Flowers, and Will Levis. So, Sarah, you go ahead and go first so that you can correct my name pronunciation.
I'm pretty sure it's Rashad White, but whatever. So I only like Devontae and Flowers in this trade. And I used to like Rashad. I don't know if he's going to do much behind Bucky, but if he does, he could get some. It's Dynasty though, so I don't know. A lot of people are high that Mason went into Minnesota, but as I always was, I'm up here in the Bay Area, so watching San Francisco games all the time, and even um, when CMC was out injured, Mason would have some like decent games, but watching him play, he just couldn't really break out. I'm just not a big Mason fan, and Levis, God knows what's going to happen to Levis. So I don't know. I just like Devontae and Flowers. So between those two, I'd probably take Flowers.
Okay. What about you, Ethan? Where are you sitting?
Okay, I do agree a lot with Sarah on this one. I do think that the only important pieces that matter are really Devontae Smith for Zay Flowers, and I will agree with the point that I do like Zay Flowers a little more. It's not a huge gap, but also I don't believe in Will Levis at all. I think there's even a chance that he might not even play again. He's just been terrible. Jordan Mason had a few spot starts last year and looked really good. I don't think that he will play too much. I think he'll just be kind of just like a fill in for third down, but he won't be in that much. And I think Rachaad White could have a little bounce back. I know he's dealing with an extortion attempt, but I still like Rachaad White a lot more than Jordan Mason.
Nothing.
And I would take that first side with Devontae Smith and Rachaad White. Like I said, the Devontae Smith and Zay Flowers, the gap is just not that big enough to me. But I like Rachaad White. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
that's where it
crazy
breaks.
about
That's
him,
the
but
tie break for you right there is Rashad.
yeah, I would take the Rachaad White.
That's funny. What about you, Scott? Are you in the same boat?
Makes sense.
I don't even know why this trade's even happening. It's such a boring trade. I don't even know how this helps
He hates this
anybody.
trade. He hates Rashad, man. He's always
I
hated
don't know how
Rashad.
this helps really anybody. It's like, I mean, if you had to pay for these trades, you wouldn't make the trade.
You wouldn't make it.
You wouldn't make it if you had to pay. If you had to pay
Like,
for these,
let's just get out of this thing altogether.
you wouldn't do it. So,
They just got bored.
yeah. So I'm gonna look and say who I think the best player in the deal is. That's what I always go to when I look at a trade that I'm kind of confused about. I think that Devontae Smith's the best player in the deal. I kind of agree with Ethan. I think Rachaad White's going to have a little bit of a resurgence. Maybe the coaching change might help out a little bit. Even though I've always said in the past, I love getting quarterbacks in a deal. Will Levis he's getting
Not a backup.
He's getting to sucks at football, territory right now. And
Terrible.
if will he latch on to another team? I mean, he could go.
Yeah, it's bad when you'll take Daniel Jones over him.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'd take Daniel Jones. and I agree with Ethan also that I think Jordan Mason's going to be like a change of pace back, as long as Aaron Jones is still healthy, running the football. And as far as Zay Flowers goes, I mean, they're still in a running offense. You got Lamar, you got King. Bateman's been, looks like he might turn the corner now, and now that he's getting older, and you got two tight ends there. So I'm gonna go slightly with the Wizard side. I'll take the best player in the deal.
I have a question though. Like, even if Rachaad White gets some touchdown touches or whatever, this is dynasty. Are you actually going to start him over anybody else? You know what I mean? Like, unless your entire roster is injured, he's not going on your roster.
I mean, yeah.
How deep is this league? How deep is the league? 16?
The league, though, this is a 12-man league.
This is all
12. Yeah,
this is one of our leagues. One of the balls.
He's not even going to end up on anyone's roster, no matter, even if he has
unless it's a crazy bye week where just like 8 teams. Well, I don't think 8 teams are on a bye at once. I think it's 6 at the most. But I don't. Yeah, y'all probably would never even need him to that point. But I will say, last year, I mean, he was supposed to be. Well, yeah, Bucky came in and took his role. But he is a PPR back. I mean, he can get. I mean, who knows if he'll actually. If it's PPR and he gets 3 catches a game, 4 catches a game.
Stop hyping this boy up. He sucks at football. The man averages 2.5 something yards a carry. Man, I'm sorry, but the guy will not be a force in fantasy ever again. He was overdrafted. I said it the whole time. He got overdrafted. He did terrible things for people on their rosters. They are now jaded and hate the man. He will no longer be that guy. I'm sorry. The guy who I like better on this out of them is Mason, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he did not have Jordan Mason backing up Aaron Jones on his roster. So that makes Mason even more valuable in this deal, in my opinion, if he's handcuffing AJ.
If he has AJ, yeah.
And
So
if
you're
AJ goes down, that means Mason is an instant star in fantasy, in my opinion, being in that offense.
Oh, so Todd Barber says in chat that he had Bucky. So he wanted.
Oh, he had Bucky. He
Northern
traded.
Wizard had Bucky.
Yeah, Northern had Bucky. So,
Todd, tell us if you've got Aaron Jones or not too. Just curious, because I know having Mason I think is valuable either way, but I think it adds a little put to the punch. It spikes the punch a little bit if you've already got Aaron Jones also. But I definitely think that this trade leans a little bit towards the Flowers side, only because I do think Mason and White are very similar as far as value to me, and I think personally Mason is a better back. So I would lean that direction. And then the other two guys, I mean, they're literally like back-to-back receivers, like 17, 18, 21.
Yeah, they're interchangeable. You could, they go back-to-back in drafts a lot.
Yeah, wherever you've got them, they're going to be back-to-back, so in my opinion anyways. And so the Levis thing is just a throw in, like you guys were saying. I think Levis is good if you have Cam, because if something happens to Cam, that he's really the only other guy on that roster.
He does not have Aaron Jones.
No, AJ. Okay.
It's an extra little piece to
throw in. Mason could be a valuable guy. Even if Aaron Jones doesn't go down, I think he gets some value in the offense. But he'd
be a good backup for you. For sure.
Hey, did one of y'all say that Will Levis was going to start week 1 this year?
Back in the day before the draft.
I still think there's a slight chance he could still start.
Just while Ward is getting the hang of things.
All I said is he could start. I didn't say he's gonna start more than one quarter.
Yeah, so I don't see it happening, but we'll see. He's been a dumpster fire.
We'll know during training camp who gets the first team reps and all that, and we'll
absolutely
we'll have a clear picture by well before the season starts. So absolutely. All right, let's go. Move on.
Is the next one the trade of the week, Sean?
Hey, Scott. What's that?
Is the next one the trade of the week?
No, the next one.
We have one more first. Oh yeah, non-Ballsville. That's right.
This is this one involves El Presidente, Alex.
Presidente.
So this one is not a Ballsville league, guys. So this one is a 16-team dynasty league that El Presidente is involved in outside of here, which it kind of grinds my gears a little bit that he has leagues outside of Ballsville, but that's a conversation for another time. Let's get into the he ends up getting DK Metcalf.
He's recruiting.
And I do have to say this was 4 days ago, so this was prior to the news with the trade that happened today and Pickens and everything. So the DK Metcalf 207 and 114, which turned into Golden and Milrow, and then he gave away to Nickel City Wreckers 36, go Bills, Nico Collins. So this one right here, I think could be one that could go either way as far as who's got what side of it. So Ethan, you haven't started us off yet. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off on this one?
Okay. For a 16-team league, I got to take Westlex's side with Metcalf. I think Golden will have a role, and I think he'll be a very important part of that offense. Green Bay hasn't drafted a positional player in 20 years in the first round, and they finally got one, and I think they're going to utilize him to that role. And Milrow, I think eventually he will end up starting at some point. Darnold's not going to be there forever, and I don't think Darnold's a long-term answer, even though we've seen what he did last year. So I do like Westlex's side, and we know that Nico is a great player, probably a top 5 dynasty wide receiver. But for a 16-team league and Metcalf, we know that he's going to have a role, obviously, and that Pickens got traded, and he's going to be jumping up the rankings, I believe. So I like Westlex's side.
Nice. Well, what do you think, Sarah? Are you with him on that?
I literally 100% of what he said, I totally agree with. Like that, I'm exactly where he's at with that. I think Milrow's going to take over not next year, not this coming year, but the next year after Sam. I think Golden, he's never, I don't think he's going to end up I don't think anyone's going to end up a stud wide receiver in Green Bay because they always have so many targets, but I think he's going to be a key player. And, I'm high on Metcalf, so I like Westlex's side.
Scott, you agree?
Yeah, in a 16-team league, it's about depth, so you're trying to build depth. I mean, I'm a huge Nico fan, so I'm sure it was really tough for Alex to part with Nico. I mean, he's tied to a CJ Shred, and I mean, they're going to have a nice pairing for a long time. But he does get a quarterback in return, which is always nice in Dynasty. It's hard to acquire quarterbacks. I'm a little higher on Golden than some people are, especially going to a really good offense. And then Metcalf now with the you got to remember now Pickens is gone. So I mean, if they just get any kind of a capable arm,
How could we forget?
In Pittsburgh, that he's going to be the number one target there. So I like Alex's deal. He picked up some depth, and but yeah, it had to be painful to get rid of Nico.
What is wrong with you people? Nico Collins is worth more than DK in 2 seconds. All right, remember this is the 114. All right, this is not the
Milrow and Golden.
Yeah, but
I know that it's the first round because it's a 16-team league, but I'm sorry, I'm taking Nico all day in this trade. And the reason I say that is in a 16-team league, you're going to have people in these leagues that don't have a top-end wide receiver, period, end of story. So for you to have a guy like Nico on your squad, to me, I'm sorry, man. I'm not giving him up for old man DK, who's going to be catching passes from Ayahuasca Aaron, a guy who's coming into an offense that is like totally spread as far as what receiver is going to do what. And a quarterback who right now is a backup and doesn't really have accuracy and is known for running the ball. So, I'm not leaning towards that side at all. If anything, I'm leaning towards Nico's side. And I think Alex needs to get himself a little bit more than just the 114 and the 207, even though he turned it into Golden and Milrow.
So he did say he has JJ. He did say he has JJ and BTJ at receiver. So,
see that? Kendall's agreeing with me too.
Yeah.
Well, at least someone is.
So if you have JJ and BTJ and Nico, Alex, that's even more of a reason to hang on to him.
Yeah, that's
But now he's got more depth with Golden, Metcalf, and a quarterback.
Wide receiver squad in a 16
league. No, he's gonna be first place in this league with all this depth.
I'm sorry, no.
I'm
keeping Nico and those other two receivers, and I'm going into every single matchup like I'm sending in those guys like they're Brad Pitt, dude, and Achilles. They're going to be jumping in there around with their swords, slicing up their top players every single week, dude. Like it's overdone.
So he says he has Levis at quarterback too.
He's got Levis, yay! That's great. So he needed Milrow.
So he needed a quarter. He was
but the Milrow doesn't help you though, brother. He's not starting.
Yeah, he's not going to help you this year.
Not yet.
Or maybe next year.
Wait, is that your only quarterback, Alex?
Yeah, please tell me you got somebody.
Sean, you're the trade expert. Wouldn't it be better if you really were dying at quarterback with that receiving core? Would you keep Nico and go ahead and take
I know what you're going to say.
Take JJ and go get an elite quarterback?
I wouldn't even try to take JJ. I would just take Nico like he did, and just go straight up and try to grab myself a top quarterback. Find the guy who's got CJ if you need to. Whoever's got the quarterback depth out there, if it's a 16-team league, you might not have a good guy willing to trade away a quarterback. That could be an issue. It really could. Right. Especially if you're talking Superflex 16-team. I mean, that's 32 starting quarterbacks in football.
Wait, it's Superflex?
Starting quarterbacks on that fantasy league. So
I'd do the same thing. Nico's the worst out of the three. I'd try to move Nico first and because people would bite. He's still a top 5 dynasty.
Yeah, and you can get
somebody would definitely bite on that. Somebody would definitely go for that.
I would have rather went for like a Jared Goff in the 114.
He does have Goff.
I mean, if I really needed a quarterback or something.
Okay, so he already has Goff. Okay.
Purdy, then we'll say Purdy, or something like that, or even like a guy
after a Superflex, though, Sean. If this is Superflex, it's probably really hard to get someone to bite on trading a wide receiver for a quarterback in a
16-team league because
that's what I'm saying.
Jared Goff's going to be your third round in a startup in a 16-team Superflex because. I mean, yeah, he would just be in the third round. I would think.
I mean, I'd be really curious to see the quarterback depth of the rosters that are in that league. And if there's one guy who overwhelmed the quarterback side of the world and has like quite a few of them, then he's dire straits needing a receiver. Alex is sitting on everything. 3 guys already. So for me, I probably would have focused on getting Nico I'm trading away one of my top 3 guys like that. I'm trading one of them away to get that quarterback I need in the second super flex role. And otherwise, I'm just hanging on to him until then.
Got you. So, all right. Do we have
Sorry, Alex, not talking shit about your trade, buddy.
Is that our trade of the week, or do we have another one?
Next one is the trade of the week.
Okay.
So we can revisit this when we're done.
Yes.
Alex.
Give it a cool little opening, Sean.
Sean is definitely not brown nosing the president.
All right. You guys can tell that I'm not a company man. All right, here we go. So I don't think this is the trade of the week. I think this is a different
Next
trade.
one.
I think it's one more, yeah.
How many more trades do we have? 1 or 2?
This last one, trade of the week.
All right.
I think it's one more after this. Nope, it is this one.
Trade of the week.
So this is our trade of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God! What is that?
Got a little.
Sarah, you got to tell me when we have these kinds of things, because I would have gone trade.
I tried to tell you. Give us a cool intro for this.
All right, next time. Now we're gonna tie him up. Next time it's gonna be great, guys. You got to tune in next week for trade talk.
Oh God, this is the trade of the week with Sean in it.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that you put my trade in the trade. I did not pick the trade of the week. All right, the trade of the week is not picked by Sean, you guys. It is picked by El Presidente or Sarah or somebody else.
No, it's Alex. That's all Alex. Yep.
I purposely do not pick the trade of the week because I like to have the reaction that it's an instant thing for me. I don't realize, but now I see it and I already have an opinion on this trade, so kind of makes my opinion shit. But it's okay. We'll let the other 3 guys tear me apart. So this one is myself and Simtropic. So Simtropic got Javonte Williams, Anthony Richardson, and a 2026 first rounder, which would be my pick. And I got Kyler Murray, DeAndre Swift, and a 2026 third rounder, which will be his third rounder. So just Scott, you go first. What do you think? With your backwards hat looking all hardcore.
This is my first place Detroit Tigers spring training hat. So like
yeah, that's nice.
So we got a couple quarterbacks involved. One, I think that's going to have a comeback year. One might be replaced by a guy who sucks at football. So we got a couple backs on new teams, a couple draft picks. I do like Kyler Murray. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. Like Ethan said, I think earlier that Harrison should have a better year this year. You still got the McBride, their tight end. So I think the offense is going to be better. I think they get it together. The Bears did not address the running back position, so that was a win for DeAndre Swift, which I thought for sure they were with the running backs in this class. They were going to go and get someone. But apparently they still have faith in either him or some 7th round guy that they drafted. Javonte, Javonte, it's still hit or miss. I still think he has value going to Dallas. He should win that job. And you give away a first for Kyler Murray. So, again, best player in the deal, which I think is Kyler Murray. I'm going to take the Kyler Murray side. I still think it's a good deal, though, for Simtropic, especially if Richardson has a resurgent and you get that.
And he also has Daniel Jones, so one way or the other, he's got the starter.
Okay. And he gets that 26 first. And even if you're you win the league or come in the top 3, I mean, it'll still be a valuable pick. But so I don't think it's a horrible trade at all, but I'll take the Murray side.
We got people agreeing with you. What do you think, Ethan? You go for it.
Okay. So is your team a contender in this league? Or is it like eligible to contend, or are you kind of like in a?
He's always going to say his league's a contender or his team's a contender.
Okay.
No matter
so with
what.
that being said, I do think you win this trade. I think Swift's value has gone up in the last couple of weeks, like Scott said. Swift's value has gone up in the last few weeks, and I think Javonte. I'm not high on Javonte anymore. I know when he came in the league, his rankings were good. He was supposed to be a starter. He was supposed to be, I would say, elite. And now I don't think he's going to win this job in Dallas. I still think they might bring somebody in. Richardson, I don't have any faith in at all. I don't He's not going to start week 1, in my opinion. They're not going to pay DJ that much money to not at least come in and start. And I think it'll be back and forth all year. If DJ can't get wins right out the gates, I think it'll be back and forth all year long. And then I think Kyler Murray is going to resurge with Marvin Harrison. I think they're going to look like an elite quarterback and receiver duo this year. I think they're going to they had looks at that last year, looks like they were going to resurge at any point. And some games, I think against the Rams, they did go off or whatever, and I thought that was going to be a thing all year. And it was just up and down. And I think this year there's no reason why Kyler and Marv shouldn't ball all year. So I do like your side. I like your side actually a lot more than the other side.
All right. Well, Sarah, looks like Justin is sitting over your shoulders grinning at you. Is he got something he wants to say about this trade here, or what's going on?
What was that, hon? Yeah. Oh, okay. Address the fact that Ethan just raised his eyebrows at me talking about Marvin Harrison going late in the draft. And then made the point that they're probably going to ball out this year, which is exactly why I think he's going too late. Because I also think that, and I think that a lot of people think that just because that 1 year that didn't go well, whatever. But aside from that, Justin was trying to have my back there. That's all. My boo. Thanks, boo. So as far as the trade goes, I have to agree. I have to take Sean's on this. I hate giving up 26 firsts because I really like the 26 class. However, I'm guessing, it's going to be on the later side, on the second half of the draft board. And
God, I hope so.
I'm still an A-Rich believer, to be honest with you, but Javonte and Swift, I've got Swift much higher than Javonte coming in this year, obviously for the same reasons as you guys. I do think Blue is going to be, right up there with Javonte eventually, but even if he's the starter, I don't know how much he's really going to do in there. So I like your side, Sean, and at least you get a 26 back. Did you try to offer him a second first before the 26 first?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I tried to avoid giving up the 26 first, however I possibly could. But same thing like you said. It's the reason I ended up doing. I was okay with giving up the first in this deal. Is number one, I definitely felt like I upgraded at both positions in the trade, and then I also felt like him being like he was in a rebuild kind of situation. I think that I get a higher pick from him, and he's going to get a lower pick from me. So it's going to be closer to like a difference of 2 rounds than it is. Yeah. 1.5 rounds or maybe 1 round than it is a full 2 rounds.
Yeah. And him having Daniel Jones, that's nice to get A-Rich. I like that. And he got a first. So it's not bad.
It helped him out in the deal for getting that combination because he was definitely it was either that or he was trying to figure out a way to get me DJ so that he could not have to worry about that headache between the two of them together. So,
I like his side too because you can plug one of them in every single week, and whether he is a competitive or not, he's going to have that extra first for next year to work on. So I like both of y'all sides really.
So, all right, I think that is our last trade of the day since it's our trade of the week, and next week we will have an amazing intro for that trade of the week. So. Please tune in once again.
Awesome.
That's you, Scott.
Yep. So, okay, that was our trade talks for the week. And then, so before I get on to the next segment, I want to let you guys know, please enter Ethan at the bottom to get in that free giveaway at the end of the show. Also, please like and subscribe to the podcast. It really helps. Leave a comment. And also go to theballsvillegame.com for all your fantasy needs. Alex does a tremendous job on the website, puts a lot of time into it. So please give it a look, and it's coming together really nicely. So now we're going to, before we get into our selection Wednesday for Cyrus, Sean put together a very good video. It basically lays out how the triathlon works. I know we've had a lot of questions when people come to join. they a little confused with the layout. It is a new game. There's a lot of moving parts, but we figure once you guys get a grasp of how the game flows, you'll see what the value is in the game, and it's going to be a very, very fun game. We ran a pilot last year. Everyone that was in it they were like, and it looked a lot different than what it is now. We got some help from people on what they thought they would, what we could add to it for value. And everyone that was in the pilot last year loved it. They're like, yes, please launch this game. So we launched it, and people are getting in it, and people are just getting super stoked to get the draft. Actually, we have 3 drafts launching. One's launching the day after the schedule comes out, and 2 more are going to start drafting on the 17th. So these drafts are going to start drafting pretty soon, and it should be a lot of fun. So we have a little video that Sean put together, and go ahead and throw it on.
There we go.
Welcome to a quick breakdown of the triathlon game. The draft is going to consist of 24 teams who are randomly split into 2 12-team leagues. Each 12-team league will draft individually. At the conclusion of the draft, each team will be awarded $200 in FOB to begin the league. The first set is the leg 1 is redraft. You're going to have both 12-team leagues are going to play in a standard redraft type format, weeks 1 through 8. It's going to be a standard matchup based against league median as well. The top 2 seeds are going to be awarded money at the end of leg 1 for winning leg 1. The 12 and final seed in each of the 2 leagues will be eliminated from the tournament altogether. So all players from the eliminated rosters are going to be added to the waiver wire at the conclusion of week 8 and start of the leg 2, the guillotine leg. As you can see, there's 2 separate rosters listed above me. Weeks 9 through 10 and 11 and 12 each have 2 separate types of rosters sizes. Waivers are going to still be a FOB system, which is going to roll over from your leg 1 budget. There's not going to be any matchups. It's going to be overall points only, and the lowest scoring team each week will be eliminated. So that's 2 teams from each week will be eliminated. All players from the rosters that are eliminated are going to be moved into the waiver wire weekly. So each of the remaining teams will be able to bid on those players, and there will be 2 sets of waivers running, one on Wednesday at noon and one on Thursday at noon. At the conclusion of week 12, there's going to be 1 final round of waivers going into Wednesday at noon. Following that, they will be locked for the best ball bracket. The best ball bracket is 8 teams from each of the 2 leagues. The remaining 8 teams will be combined into a 1 bracket, 16-team bracket. Their seeding will be based on how they completed their leg 1 standings. As you play through, each of the teams that lose will be eliminated down to the Final 4. The Final 4 will be paid money, as well as the 2 champions who may face off in the championship for the bracket. The winner of the bracket champion will be moved into the Grand Champion Week 17. All bracket champions are going to compete for the Grand Champion crown. I hope that really helps you guys with any questions you may have. Please feel free to reach out to us at theballsvillegame.com if you have any more questions, or feel free to jump into one of the leagues. Myself, Scott, and Alex will be available for you guys at any time. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you there.
Awesome. Very good video. Well put together, Sean. Great job. So
you know how you're super critical of yourself.
You're like watching everything like, oh, I messed up there.
The video was perfect. We just got to get Sean to pronounce fab, and it'll be perfect.
Fob.
He figures out how to say fab instead of fob.
I think he'll figure it out when you start saying people's names correctly.
Touche. So
Sarah, the zinger. I love it.
So yeah, we put, like I said, Sean put that together because we did get a lot of questions, and like he said at the end of the video, if you are still confused, you can reach out to us. I don't know how much more we could reiterate, but but yeah, it's laid out there for you. And once you get the flow and the hang of it, and get into it, it should be like it shouldn't be a problem then. So
Yeah. Run through the first season with us, guys. Even if you're a little confused, hang in there and run through the first season with us. We'll be there to walk you through it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll understand it. Once you play just a week or so into it, you'll be like, okay, I'm getting this. This makes sense.
Yep. So, all right, let's get into it. It is Selections Wednesday. We are going to be selecting Osiris, and we are going to go 12-1. So it's going to go. The first drawing will be 12 light. Second will be player will be 12 dark, and we will go 12 light, 12 dark, 11 light, 11 dark, and so on all the way until we fill the whole league. Once we fill the whole league, I would like to reiterate, you can join both leagues and you can watch, but make sure you get into your league so we can place you guys in the proper draft spots. So it's really important to make sure you're at least in the league that you're placed in. And then what we will do from there, I will post, go ahead and post a survey, letting everyone know if they would like to draft in May, June, July, or August. Once that month is selected, then I'll put in the weekends, and then you guys can vote on the weekend. And then obviously the once we get that, we'll come up to the final month or and day of your draft. So let's go. Let's do the.
All right. We got light is first.
Yeah, light is first. So let
Okay.
on a wheel spin.
All right. No more annoying air horn. Let's do this.
So this is 12 light.
12
So
light.
part of the fun here, guys, is me and Sarah trying to time up between the spins and everything. So
Drum rolls.
and I get to hear a nice kitty cat sound and nobody else does, and it always makes me chuckle. All right, here we go. First spin.
And
Trader Clem.
Trader.
Oh, sorry for
Oh,
cussing.
that's correct.
That was on Trader Clem's name. He cheating.
What are you talking about? The line, that's just the line. But I can see it.
All right. So that's
Hey, don't be stuck down on my wheel.
Irish number 12 dark.
Oh,
There.
well, right out the gate.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I love that spot. I'm jealous. Of you
I'll
right
take it. I'll take it. As
Wow.
Crash calls it, the Tokyo
You
Drift
know what
spot.
that means? That means Ethan, me, and you will be in the one hole.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Nah.
I already got
You're
him.
like 8. You're gonna be
Actually,
8.
I'm in 3 leagues, and I think I'm the 1, the 5, and the 12. So, or 11 or something. So I'm
Last time we ended up like all of us were at the last like 4 group, you know, like
Yeah, we were in like top 4.
last 4.
Yeah, I'm drafting by y'all in that league y'all talking about.
all right. Let's go. 11 light. So this will be right in front of Chris.
Is it you?
Right.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's not.
right. It was right on.
Oh,
No.
okay. That means Ethan's got to be 11 dark. Oh my
Look at
god.
that.
Come on.
I thought it was me. I really did.
All right, we're going dark. 11.
Alex,
Dark.
yeah, we're getting everybody in the back end of this draft, dude. I'm gonna be stuck up in the front. It's gonna suck. It'll be like that kid who can't sit at the cool table at lunch. Yeah. All right,
Here we
what are
go.
we doing? 10?
Mhm,
Who's
10
gonna
light.
let it, who's gonna let players fall to me? 10 light.
It's Ethan.
Light.
Ethan.
Oh, look
No
at that. You got it. That's ridiculous.
Always
Thank God he told me his
Ooh, I
draft.
love it.
Oh
Hey,
my
who's the
goodness.
Dave and who's the Calvin?
That's what I get.
That's so great. Here we go. So this will be the other side of the fence.
10 dark. John,
Dark.
is that John Legs? John Legs.
Ooh, John Legs. All right. And it's staying away from you. So it's-
White 9.
Light.
Oh, dude, that was dead on the line, too. I could not tell who that was going to be.
Yeah, the
We
wheel
got-
will tell you.
We got some heavy hitters here in light.
Here and
Oh,
yeah.
man.
All right, dark 9.
Smackdown MJD.
Smackdown MJD.
Meow. It's so funny to hear this little cat every time nobody else does it.
Light.
The other Ethan.
Blinka.
Ethan
10.
Blinko 10. Are you guys related? I gotta ask.
Yeah,
No.
they're related because they have the same first name. What?
All right, Ethan Blinka 10. So we'll go 8 dark.
Oh, Chiefs
Oh,
like
Chiefs
15. So that means I'm going to be on his team because it always happens. We're on the same team. Wouldn't be surprised if I'm not drafted in front of him.
All right, 7 light.
What
Cheeky.
the?
Cheeky
I didn't roll.
Light.
Yeah, Hobson. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 7 dark.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Rick and more TDs.
That's a clever name.
Right? Ooh, all right. Let's see what this one is. So where are we at, Scott?
6 light.
6 light, baby. Like a second here.
Light.
The Jenny
Jenny
B.
B.
Right.
Meow.
Right in the middle.
All right, 6 dark.
Oh, wait. No, roll
Stack
George.
11.
Stack 11. The last.
Something wrong with your wheel.
Man. Wheel has a mind of its own, baby. All right. Once you
AI,
crank
man.
it,
AI, you can't
So,
trust it.
Before we get to the top 5,
You
before
give
we
me, I
get to
just
the top,
Googled it.
before we get to the top 5, let's see what the panel thinks of their draft selection since we're all on it already. So we'll go with Ethan. How do you like drafting how do you like drafting the 10 hole, and do you like what do you think about the guys that are drafting with you?
So y'all are drafting with me, right? Like y'all, I know you're drafting right
Whoever's
beside
in
me,
the
aren't you?
light,
Got
whoever's
on
in the
your-
light one.
Give him a quick rundown on who's on your side of the board.
All right, so right now at number 12, we got Sorry for Cussing. We have myself at 11. Ethan, you're at 10. C-Bomb's at 9. Ethan Blinko is at 8. Cheeky Hobson at 7, and Jenny B at 6.
Okay, so yeah, I
Yes,
see a lot of
sir.
y'all's names around, whether it be big game or not. So I think we'll have a very good competitive league. And
And I
as
think
far
you guys
as-
are going to run from each other. I'm going to kick your asses on the other side of the board. Boom!
So Sarah, how do you like drafting in that 12 hole? You got
Look, if I'm not going to be in the top 4, then I'm fine with 11 and 12.
I'm
like,
fine with 10.
I like that.
I will say I'm fine with 10.
Yeah. All you late drafters, you guys could, you know what? I hate that. It's gonna suck.
all right.
All right. I hope I'm on the other side of the board, though. I don't want to be on your team, so I want to be on the other side.
All right, let's run it. We are in the
Come
top
to the
Five
light
five.
side.
Top 5.
Five.
We are in the
5 light, yeah?
Number 5 light.
Jimmy
Wojo.
Wojo. Meow.
All right, this is going to be a
All
cool-
right. So this is 5 dark.
Kinda.
This is 5 dart. We're in the top 5.
Are we gonna be me? It's
No,
me.
I want to
It's
go on.
Trader Clem.
Thank God.
Oh, me and Sean. Dang it.
Thank God.
And Alex.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alex didn't.
Ah.
All right, top
That's right. We
4.
can't do trades in here, so I'm good. We're good.
Yes, we
4
can.
light.
It's not till during the draft, but after the draft we can trade.
Yeah, that's what I meant. During the draft, that's fine. Yeah, I don't want.
Oh yeah. No, you guys don't have to worry about the wrath of Sean until after the draft.
All right, we got 4 light.
Light.
Boy,
The chicken boy.
Meow.
I haven't drafted
Oh, what you're hearing?
yet.
I put a little cat noise in every time it selects, so it makes this little meow every
Oh.
time.
All right,
Hear it.
4
You guys
dart.
just- it's only on my computer.
4 dart.
Jimbo.
Oh,
So he's on my side of the board, Sarah, with you, me and you.
He's drafting right beside you.
Oh, we're gonna see what kind of crazy strategy he's got for that one.
Jimmy and his crazy strategies. 3 light.
That's gonna work.
Oh, Todd Barber. We got Todd
Light.
Barber in there.
Yeah, TV76 is there. You guys are just getting a list of all stars on that
And
side of the
Murderers
board.
Row, Ethan. Murder's Row.
Artful Dodger
Artful
too.
Dodger. Top 2.
Oh, this is Borg
Borg
1980.
1980.
So that's our side of the board, right? So that's dark 2 or
No,
3
that's
or light 3.
light. That's light 2.
So you guys got Borg 2. Look at that. You guys are just
Yeah.
studded out.
So too dark.
All right. Who's going to be on our side?
The Beninator.
The Beninators.
Eliminators. I like our dark noise. It's so much better than the
And
white.
I want to say Ben's in the Beninators. He's in all of them also. He's been in
That's
every.
that's my voice auto-tuned and pitched down.
All right, so this is it. We got light 1 and dark 1, and we got 2 players left. We got Tennessee Nick
There we go.
and Tux Allen.
Who's light? Who's dark?
Tennessee is light.
Tennessee Nick
Light.
is right next to his boy Pogue.
Oh my
Leaves?
God. Look at you guys on your star-studded side.
Dark.
We'll give one more spin to Tux just so I see his name.
Tux Allen.
I get to hear that kitty cat
Yeah.
noise one more time.
All right, so that wraps up our selection show. I'll do a recap real quick. This will be the light side. Going from 12 to 1, we got Sorry for Cussing, myself, Run the Hurry Up, XTS Ethan, C-Bomb, Ethan Blinko, Cheeky Hobson, Jenny B, Jimmy Wojo, Chicken Boy, TB76, Porg 1980, and Tennessee Nick. That's a murderer's row right there. We will go to the dark side. We got Sarah M21, El Presidente, Westlex, John Legs, SmackDown MJD, Chiefs Life, Rick and More TDs, Short Stack 10, Trader Clem, Jimbo's Bimbos, Artful Dodger, the Beninators, and Tux Allen. So that wraps up with Cyrus, light and dark. And like I said, I will get to your leagues once everyone's in there. I'll set up the draft positions, put everyone in their place, and then I'll go ahead and put out the
Put them all in their place.
I'll put up the voting for what month, and once that's voted on, then we'll figure out a day, and we will get this stuff cracking. So Aries is already launched, so we got people that have already paid. I think there's, what is there, Sean, about 8 or 9 that are paid in Aries? And
I think we're actually closer. I think we've reached the double digits at this point.
Okay, and then I think Mars has like 3 or 4 players in there already. So
yeah,
if you guys
sitting
want
pretty
to
right
get
now.
more, we're gonna launch as many as we can, and we'll do the same thing once we get a league full. We will pick. We'll figure out which day we're gonna do it on the pod, and we'll do another selection Wednesday. So
Fire.
so before we get out of here, we're gonna give away a free big game. If you put in this, your last chance to stick Ethan in the chat and get an opportunity.
You get to stick Ethan in the chat. Huh? I like your choice of words there.
At least he didn't say in the hole.
Always entertainment, fun for the whole family on this show.
Right? Yeah, this is family fun, Cotton.
And we keep it clean. We don't swear too much.
Not too much. Just when sounds of freaking.
Only-
Except for when you play that pimp.
Yes, exactly.
We
That is
only,
not family friendly, y'all.
we only swear some of the fucking time.
Oh man, you gotta love it. All right, are we ready to do this? We got 17 people in here, guys.
Wow, 17 people.
That's pretty epic right there. 17 of you guys. There's 22 in the room right now, though. So I know some of you guys probably aren't in here because one of you I know for sure is watching on a nice big new TV that I just hung a little bit ago. But the rest of you guys, you should still get in here if you type Ethan.
So are we just doing one drawing?
Yep. One.
All right. One chance.
All right, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
What do you think, Ethan? You tell me, brother. You give me the go ahead.
Go on the count of 3.
You gotta type Ethan in, Os.
Asla Griggs.
That's my girl.
Oh.
She says hi.
Oh. Tell her to enter a keyword.
I know. I just told her to. Who do you think is going to get that entry?
You don't need
Let's
any.
see.
You don't
If you
need.
let him count down, we'll find out.
3,
Right?
2, 1, go.
Bam. Who's getting it?
It's the long one.
Grinder.
Oh, that doesn't count though. He's not even alive.
That's quite a picture right there.
It looks like it's in a coffin. I don't know what's going on there,
It
but
does.
it's back in a coffin to me.
I love it. Or it's in-
Congratulations. All right, Grinder.
He's got Ethan cracking up on Ethan. You all right down there, brother? Man, your phone looks like you dropped it or something, man. Are you okay? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm good.
You good? You good?
He's choking on some water. It happens.
No, I'm choking on that picture.
what? I know you didn't mean to say what I thought I heard.
No, no.
Oh man, there's so much for a good, wholesome family show.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh man. On that note,
so Grinder, you're the winner. You can reach out to Sarah M21 for free entry since she's running most of those big game
Big
leagues.
games? Oh no, that's Sean. That's him
a second one just because his picture
Connor.
provided an easy moment of content for the podcast. I feel like he should get like a friend pass and get like a second entry or something just because of the moment he creates for us.
Sorry about that. I'm doing
That
the mini
picture is
games
crazy.
with
You're not
Zubas,
doing.
but
You're
no,
not
Grinder
doing,
should reach out to Connor.
you're not doing any of the big game.
Not yet. I'm just watching.
Oh,
right now.
okay. So yeah, you can reach out to Connor C-Bomb, or you can reach out to Alex, and get your free entry. And like I said, I think 6, 7, and 8 are open. Just go to the ballsvillegame.com and look for the one that you want to get into. They've been going real quick, so they've been filling up really fast. So 7, and you get a free entry. Congratulations and good luck. So,
Bye-bye.
so that wraps up our show. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We will be back on next Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for my co-host Trader Clem, for our producer and one of our game managers Sarah M21, and to our new friend and degenerate gamer HTX Ethan. I'm Run the Hurry Up. I'm your host. Till next week, folks. We are out.
That's a wrap.